Welcome to the Sugar Lee Show. This is the first of many. I'm glad you guys decided to tune in. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends. Now, before we get into this, I would just like to give you a quick rundown of why I'm doing what I'm doing. For one, I am not one of the thousands, if not millions, of people who comment on these viral posts every single day and have these long paragraphs, these long rants about their opinion. One thing I will not do is engage in intellectual conversation with idiots. And I personally believe that most people are high functioning idiots. They can have sex, go to work, and have children, but they have no common sense. There are a lot of people who are capable of getting a college degree, yet they are still idiots. That's fine. And I'm about to prove that here in just a moment. A philosophy that I learned a while ago, and is something I think other people should adopt, is that I only debate my equals, all others I teach. So, yes, I see the viral posts when I surf through the internet on my free time. Do I comment? No. I don't like, I do not engage, I do not share. I only look and I laugh because it is entertainment for me. Another thing is, if you are wondering, yes, I am Republican. I am a part of the Grand Old Party, for sure, through and through. Um, yes, I am African American, if you haven't realized that by now through my voice. I do not listen to hip hop. I do not use the N word. I do not shame people for using the N word. All I ask is when you are conversing with me, refrain from using it or we will no longer have a conversation. Because I will not identify as an insult that was meant for my ancestors. So I don't think African Americans should be using the word either. I think it's very embarrassing to our people and our ancestors that we are using it as a term of endearment, using it in raps, and just using it every single day. It is very embarrassing and it's actually hilariously sad. It's very pathetic. But anyway, moving right along. So let's get to the topic of the video. Okay? Black women are crashing out, and it's because of Kamala Harris. Let's go to the educated sisters who voted for Kamala Harris. Look at this 91% right here. Look at this 91%. I just got this laptop. I don't really know how to zoom in, but look at this 91%. I'm so proud of this 7%. I'm so proud of this 21%. For one, I'm not surprised that black women are crashing out on the internet saying they're going to leave the country and ranting and saying nobody wants them and they're done dealing with people. That's fine. Hey, if you do not want to be a part of America, please leave. We do not want you here. Please believe me. Okay? Trust me. Trust me. The reason why I say they're crashing out is because, for one, there is no way on this side of heaven, on this side of the planet, this side of the universe, whatever you want to talk about, you are going to bring out Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, twerking, Beyonce, Oprah, Quavo, Eminem. You will never get a vote from me. These people are court jesters. You think I want to hear their opinion on a political matter? I never thought I'd see today, man. It is so hilariously sad and embarrassing. Cardi B was in the news here, what, a month ago? Telling the world that she slept with one of her husbands, still husbands, dead rapper group friends. She told the world that while she was pregnant, she was sleeping with another man while still married to said rapper. You want people to vote listening to her? Democratic Party, how low have you stooped? How low can you get? You got Meg the Stallion twerking? Oh, I forgot. Twerking is an entertainment for ghetto blacks, right? Right? Isn't that the agenda? Hey, Meg, we're gonna hire you to come twerk, and maybe we could get the African Americans who don't vote to vote because you came and twerked. Yeah. Let's get Quavo, a detrimental rapper, come talk to the African Americans to get them to vote. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I know he raps about killing people and propagating death and genocide to the youth and the use of illegal narcotics, the use of selling illegal narcotics. We know. But it's who they identify with. You guys should be embarrassed and ashamed. She got 91%. I promise you. Listen, go look at some interviews of people interviewing people, asking them, why are you voting for Kamala? Tell us about her policies. They don't know anything about the policies. Most of the people that you talk to cannot tell you the three branches of government. They can't tell you anything or what they do. They cannot. They have no clue. Zero clue. These women are online crashing out, telling us they're going to leave the country. And by the way, of course, again, we do not care. They're telling us they're going to leave the country and they can't tell you anything about the policies. When I talk to people, and again, I only debate with my equals, all this I teach. When I simply talk to people about their opinion in person, because I do not engage on social media, okay? Why do you not like Trump? Well, it's the abortion. You can't tell me what to do with my body. Um, from my understanding, he's leaving the abortion in the hands of the states. Has nothing to do with him. It's fine. Well, you still can't tell me what to do with my body. I can abort. Well, people, if you go look up the numbers, and something I will tell you, and I will continue to tell you every single episode of the Sugar Lee Show. Do not just take my word for it, research it for yourself. Because there are a lot of people who take second hand knowledge and they exaggerate, they abstract, and do whatever they want to with the information, and they pass it along to somebody who's not going to do any type of research. Okay? There are 1,500 minimum abortions every single day in the United States of America. And there's 98,000 per month. There's 98 murders per month. This is the 91%. This is the 91%. And you mean to tell you what's crazy about this number? Is that 38% of the women who are getting these abortions, which is the leading number, they're African American women. And guess what? This is 38% of the entire country of women. Okay? Out of 100, of course. And guess what percentage black women make up in America? 7.8%. So you mean to tell me that out of all women in the country, black women are leading abortions at 38% when they only make up 7.8% of the population? Hello? Hello? When you talk about uneducated people who do not do research, this is what I'm talking about. Let me tell you a contradiction real quick and we're going to move along. Because I can talk about everybody's policy and the things I do not agree with. I don't agree with everything Donald Trump says. I'm just Republican. Okay, let's just get that straight. Okay, there's a Lacey law. And don't get it confused with LACEY. I believe that law is the illegal selling of wildfire and plants or something like that. The Lacey law I'm speaking of is LACI. That Lacey. And what I mean by that, in fact, let's just look it up. Let's just look it up real quick. I got you. This Lacey law is if you kill a woman while she's pregnant, you get tried for murder too. Here we are. Yep. The brutal murder of Lacey Peterson and her unborn son. So basically, this is the Lacey law, fellas. If a woman is 2 weeks pregnant, 2 months pregnant, 5 months pregnant, 5 days pregnant, and you kill her, you go to jail for both murders. The exception from people who will not get tried for that are women who are pregnant. That is the exception. The contradiction in that is that if I can go to jail for killing a pregnant woman who's 2 weeks pregnant, why can't she go to jail for aborting her 2-week-old baby, her 3-week-old baby, 6-week-old baby? That's a very big contradiction. I think there's only 3 reasons, and there's some people out here who are more extreme than me. I have friends who don't believe in any type of abortion, but there's 3 reasons you should get an abortion. The R word, we're going to say grape, incest, or if the baby is going to unalive you. Those are the only 3 respectable reasons. Everything else, I do not want to hear it, ladies. I don't want to hear it. If I'm not mistaken, I believe there are 37 forms of birth control. Let's see. How many? I'm not a good typer. How many forms of birth control are there? Let's see if we can find something. I'm looking at methods. I would like to look up forms. I hate looking up stuff on the spot because I like to be thorough. Let's see. Are there? Just a second. Let's see. God dog it. Can't go too deep. I gotta make sure everything is credible. We'll come back to that. But there are many forms of birth control. And with that being said, why is there 1,500 abortions every single day? Let me tell you why. And there's 1,500 minimum. You can look that up. That's minimum 1,500 per day in the U.S. There's actually 200,000 worldwide. So I believe the reason why there are 1,500 abortions every single day in this country is because it's not because, excuse me, I'm sorry. It is not because women are getting the R word, raped. It's not because of that. It's because they're using abortion as a condom. That's it. They like it raw. They enjoy the feeling. That's it. You're using abortion as a form of birth control. And it shouldn't work like that. It just shouldn't, ladies. Doesn't matter about what you're talking about when you rant about Trump. He has no control over it. He says he's going to leave it in the hands of the state. And if I'm being quite honest, I think every state should outlaw it only for those three reasons: the R word, incest, or it's going to kill you. The baby is going to unalive you. Those are the only reasons. Other than that, we don't want to hear it. Close your legs, get married, and be happy. Period. Moving right along. Like I said, the Democratic Party is so embarrassing. They're so embarrassing, man. They're so embarrassing. Let's go to TikTok. Let's listen to these women crashing out. Let's listen to the crash out, guys. Let's go.
I don't think you all are fully grasping what it means for Black women as a whole to be taking a step back. But allow me to illustrate what that's going to look like for you. When there's a bunch of mess going on at work, and you can see that there's this one person harassing people, or when people aren't getting paid well, when usually Black women would have stepped up and started advocating. They're not doing that anymore. When you're in the checkout line and somebody behind the counter is being rude to you, or vice versa, and a Black woman steps in usually to advocate or to step in and, calm things down, they're not doing that anymore. When the news is reporting about the horrendous things happening in your own country or in our own country, and things are...
Do you hear this? Nonsense.
Black women fall a train for the 93% of Black women who voted for Kamala.
See? This is what I'm talking about. Who did she get her stats from? Who did this woman get her stats from? Who did she get her stats from? Look at this. Look at this deception right here. And me personally, I do not date women who wear weave, makeup, or wigs or anything like that. I don't do that. You have to come to me naturally. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it took her a while to put all this on, this whole get up, this deception right here. She could have spent that time putting this on to look up this number. It's 91%. It is not 93. It never was 93. What are we talking about? Let's continue. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Black women fall a train for the 93% of Black women who voted for Kamala. I am blocking and unfollowing everybody else. We are done.
Bye. Bye? What do you mean? Bye. Let's listen to somebody else crash out.
So here we are, day 4 post-election. And you guys are on here upset that we've decided to opt out. My question is why? Pre-election, all we heard was Black women don't matter, Black women are insignificant, Black women this, Black women that. But yet here we are. And all we're hearing is wham.
Listening to these uneducated people give their ignorant opinions, doesn't it just make you sick? These people have to understand that the people on your Facebook is in your world. That is completely anecdotal. That's not the rule. That's just what you experience. I have friends that don't even know Usher, who Usher is. Right? People have to understand, whoever is big in your world doesn't mean that everybody else knows what you're talking about. You can't speak for the whole group. Continue.
And why are y'all leaving us? Why won't y'all include us? Nah. Keep that same energy you had pre-election, where we didn't matter. Cash that check, okay? Because you spoke that into existence. And so here we are.
All right, lady. She's crashing out. Let's look at this one.
That's why I don't think anything. I mean, not you right.
And you a black woman who voted for Trump. Okay, the person in the background must be the person mad.
You don't say something black. I don't understand how you gonna understand.
That's funny. Like I said, it's so embarrassing that black women only voted for Kamala Harris because she looks like them. She literally said she's not even black. She says she's like Indian or something like that, which is crazy. That's all the more embarrassment part about it. But it is what it is, I guess. Let's move along. Let's see. Black women the next 4 years.
Sorrows, pride.
Yeah, no, I don't care about that. Let's see.
You want, but we can go to a different
We didn't win. Nothing is funny today.
library. Do you want to go to a different? Do you want to go to the park or library? Can we go to the library? No. How about we check out the library and see if we like it, and if we don't, we can go to a park.
I know she's crying because Kamala Harris lost. I wouldn't be crying about that. Dude, they voted Joe Biden in office. I was scared for a second, bro, for the country that he won. Now, I know they technically cheated. I mean, if you look at those votes that he got in the 2020 election, the highest votes ever, of course they cheated. But this dude couldn't even complete a sentence. Most times he would get lost and didn't even know where he was, and you voted that guy in the White House. Embarrassing. Anyway, I know she's crying, but I'm glad that she wants to take her child to the library because most of the people, especially single African American women's children, they can read at a 5th grade level, and that's it. That's it. So she's good on trying to take her child to the library, but all this crying for Kamala, no, get it out of here. Bye. Let's go check on somebody else.
There's so many black women on this app that have already said, stop apologizing to black women for not showing up the way that black women always show up for everybody all the time. Just stop apologizing for that. And I completely agree. I just want to offer an alternate solution because there's nothing we can do with an apology. So instead of apologizing to black women, you could do these things. You could maybe actually uplift and follow these black creators, these black women creators that you said you were going to 4 years ago, that you said you were going to 2 years ago.
And she's not talking about nothing. She's not talking about anything important. Let's go down. Let's see.
The way that black men are about to be the weakest link. Remember when it was 52% of white women voted for Trump? It's about to be black men. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is for black men not wanting a black woman in power. Black men talking about
First of all, I am a traditional man. My woman is my wife. Okay? A traditional man should want a wife, not a business partner, a career-driven woman. That's just me. I'm a traditional guy. Okay? I will take care of you for the rest of your life. Okay? And you play a traditional woman's role. The problem with some of these women is they want traditional men, but they don't want to be traditional women. They want to have their own business, and they want you to pay all the bills. No. That's the perk and luxury of a traditional woman who is feminine, who is cooperative, okay? Who's willing to stay at home, who's willing to be a great helpmeet, okay? That's not these modern women that a lot of us see. There are some modern women who fall into this category. Trust me, personal experience. But anyway, let's move on.
I don't want no black woman and tell me what to do. Okay, but wasn't you raised by a black woman?
And also, why, excuse me, bear with me, I have a little cough. Why in the world would I want to vote for a woman, whether she is African American or Caucasian or any other ethnic group for that matter, who was vice president to somebody who I thought was mentally ill? What? Again, why would I want to vote for somebody who brought Cardi B out to encourage me to vote when she acts and carries herself like a complete peasant? She's a court jester. Anyway, let's start this over. I'm not going to interrupt her. Let her cook. Let her talk.
The way that black men are about to be the weakest link. Remember when it was 52% of white women voted for Trump? It's about to be black men. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is for black men not wanting a black woman in power. Black men talking about I don't want no black woman telling me what to do. Okay, but wasn't you raised by a black woman? Why are you scared of black women telling you what to do all of a sudden? Don't you live with your mama still? Oh, sorry, you live with your grandma. Don't your baby mom raise your kids? Don't your baby mom...
Genuinely, how are you?
The way that...
See, this is what I don't like about these ghetto peasants. And not all black women are ghetto. I'm talking about the ones who are. This is what I don't like about these ghetto peasants. And this is why I only debate my equals, all others I teach. When ghetto people, and it can be any ethnic group, when ghetto people get upset because they can't have an intellectual conversation, do you know what they resort to? They resort to violence and insults. Why does she have to talk about the guys who didn't vote for Kamala? Why do they have to be living with their grandmother? Why is it that they have to have baby mamas? Why is it that they have to be sassy or broke? Like, why can't they just have an opinion that's not yours? That's clearly not educated. Hold on, let's skip ahead a little bit.
Don't your baby mom raise your kids? Don't your baby mom pay your bills? Don't your baby mom give you a car to drive? What's going on here? Don't you and your baby mom live with your mom? Talking about some black woman can't run that. What are you talking about? Black women are historically the backbone of society. The way that...
What? Okay. Listen, African American women have the lowest divorce rate on this planet. They are the least desirable on the planet. African American women, not African women. African American women are the least desirable on the planet because of their behavior, not because of how they look. Let's see. I'm so sick of this ignorance, bro. Let's see if we can find something else.
So 95% of black women came together last.
Okay, so it went from 93% to 95%. What are we talking about here? It is 91%. How did it jump up a whole 4%? The false propaganda for no reason, bro. No reason at all. And then if you look in these comments of the willfully ignorant supporting another uneducated opinion, it baffles me, dude. This is beyond crazy. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Last night and decided that we was going to support one black woman. 95% of us came together to support one black woman.
I'm sorry. She's saying this so with so much confidence, and she's so wrong. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll let you guys listen. Jeez, this is ridiculous.
So 95% of black women came together last night and decided that we was going to support one black woman. 95% of us came together to support one black woman. So if 95% of us can come together to support one black woman, 95% of us can come together to support all black women. Like, it really just opened my eyes to know that as a community, we don't need nobody else. We literally can change the trajectory of our own lives as black women. 95% of us supporting one cause can move mountains. We don't really need nobody to campaign for us. We don't need nobody to represent us. We 95% repping ourselves.
This is my...
Women's rights are huge. So 90...
Driving and recording is very dangerous, people. Do not attempt that.
Decisions come together in solidarity to make sure something happens. Regardless of the outcome, 95% of us stood 10 toes down and supported our counterpart. 95% of us. So I say that to say, if 95% of us is willing to support one black woman. 95% of us can support the majority of black women. We can decide to build our own communities. We can raise our own funds. We can select our own leaders. We can change the lives of our children in our own hands, on our own time. We would love the support of a black man. We want you if you want to come. But if you fickle and don't know what to do.
Somebody else is hurt. She's obviously hurt. She's obviously hurt, bro. Listen. This is why my dating standards are so different from what people accept in my community, in the community I used to be a part of, the community that I grew up in which I've separated myself from since. As a woman, if you want to date me, you must walk in your feminine energy at all times. There's a lot of women who say, if the guy I'm dating is if he's acting feminine, I'm going to be in masculine energy. You should never feel like you need to be masculine at all as a woman. That is your most powerful gift. To be feminine. Okay? If you use profane language in public as a woman, you cannot be mine. That is not classy. That is so ugly. It is so distasteful. Let's listen to what she has to say.
95% of us do. We know what to do. That just proved to me that, as we all know,
she's so passionate about the conversation. She's closing her eyes and taking her eyes off the road as she's driving. This is dangerous. It really is. Do not repeat this, kids.
black women don't need nobody else. We always only had ourselves. So all we got to do is get it. Who representing? Who's starting the cause? Because I guarantee you, as long as a black woman got breath in her body, if you tell her she got to pay some dues to change the life of her kids and her grandchildren for a future, if she got to pay a couple dollars every month to make sure a program exists where her child is safe, 95% of black women are going to do it. What we going to do? We could create our own communities. We could live within our own communities. We invite black men to...
It's interesting that she says that they can create their own communities. You know, the African American people, fresh out of slavery in 1865, less than 40 years out of slavery, built prominent communities in the country. Actually, factually, the most famous one being the Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street, which was ultimately torn down by bigots. We don't want to build. Do you guys know what the four major institutions are? Hospital, supermarket, bank, school. We don't own any of those institutions, and none of us are oppressed. None of us are working in the field for free labor. None of us are being treated like slaves at all. We are $10 trillion people in the country, yet we own nothing. Absolutely nothing. But when a ghetto black person gets a little bit of money, they go and buy a Mercedes so they can show you their value. My mentor is worth $20 million and he drives a Camry. Guess what ethnic group he belongs to? He's Caucasian. I will never get people. I really don't. Let's finish listening to her.
Too, but you got to be ready to be down with 95% black woman. I'm so proud of us. So 95%.
Jesus.
This is my black woman public service announcement. America, you showed us your true colors right there behind that election ballot box. Mm-hmm. So I'm officially joining the Black Woman 4-year PTO movement. From here on out, if it doesn't directly benefit me and my family, don't ask me. Don't ask me to protest, forward stuff, like stuff on social.
They keep talking about this 4 years. We're going to win the office again in the next 4 years. It's going to be Republican. It's never going to be Democrat again. Hopefully. Never, ever again.
So don't ask me. Asian hate? Got my popcorn.
This is trash. This is unclassy behavior.
Mass deportations of Latinos.
This is what Kamala have these women doing, bro. She has them crashing out. This woman literally insulted you, black woman, by bringing out rappers and entertainers who do nothing for you politically to tell you to vote. And you didn't find that insulting? That's the biggest insult. The Democratic Party. Jeez.
Jewish hostages. It's terrible. Black women have always been needed to show up, stand up, and speak up for everyone else's battles. But what about ours? It was not reciprocated in this election. We will no longer be taken for granted. You knew exactly who you were voting for. You know what he stands for. I'm wearing sunglasses because I was crying and my eyes are so puffy.
Interesting.
But my sadness has now turned to anger and action. So when things start unraveling and you start panicking and you need allies to protest and help support, don't look over here. Not anymore. Because here's what my vibe will be. This is my black woman.
Women's rights are human rights. Yes. We should not be at risk for our lives. My friends who are trans, who are gay, should not have to risk for their lives every single day.
We are the ones affected by this, and we're only a
What is she affected from?
year out from voting in the most important election. Us women, we are the ones getting affected. Our rights, our college next year, we are the ones who will be mainly affected by this.
This is amazing. I love this. I have 2 young daughters. I have a beautiful wife, and I know that.
He's a simp. He's a simp. I can already hear it. He's clearly a simp.
Kamala Harris will fight for their rights. She is a young perspective. She's a person of color, and she is a good representation of our country.
Donald Trump is not good for this country. He wants to take away gender-affirming healthcare for minors, which directly impacts me. He is reducing gun safety laws, and
Fellas, ladies, who aren't on the liberal side, we cannot let Kamala Harris get into the White House. Ever.
he's making a very difficult environment for anyone who's a risk.
You can
How
tell,
likely are you to...
You can tell none of these people have any type of education. You can just tell. All right, let's go to the next. Let's look at the last crash out dummy. The next crash out dummy.
I don't think a lot of y'all understand how distressing it is when a black woman stops caring. When she cuts you off, it can be devastating and distressing. I've watched it happen in my own life a few times. By the time a black woman shuts off her heart and blocks you,
We don't care.
I need every black American woman to see this clip.
If I'm being really honest, Black Lives Matter happened over the summer of 2020, right? And I think that a lot...
By the way, I do not support Black Lives Matter. It's a very stupid concept.
...of companies, as we saw, reevaluated like their employee structure, etc., and realized they need more diversity. And I think that also came into the film industry, right? A lot of agencies looked at their books of clients.
PSA for my black girls who are still trying to process the election results from a licensed therapist. Your feelings of anger, hopeless...
This is one of those people who went to college who clearly doesn't have any common sense. You can have a college degree and still be a moron. Okay? Don't let that fool you, people. Let's listen to what she has to say.
PSA for my black girls who are still trying to process the election results from a licensed therapist. Your feelings of anger, hopelessness, disappointment, and sadness are valid. Your need and desire to end relationships because of this election and what you found out about people is okay. This election hit different because as black women, oftentimes we are overqualified and passed on because of who we are and how we look. And this election gave us a very public platform and visual that we are still there. If someone is invalidating your feelings during this time, you have to question the lens in which they view you.
So because you are processing this election as grief, you need to apply the same strategies you would to heal from this grief. Take some time to process, feel your feelings, but we can't stay stuck in them. This weekend, focus heavily on your self-care. I am going to decorate my house for Christmas, and I'm going to put my energy into that because looking at Christmas decorations just makes me happy.
Yeah, no. Nope.
I really do not like crying on the internet, but I'm not even about to pretend like this some shit that I'm finna be embarrassed about, bro. Like, I ain't never been so fucking devastated behind an...
Oh my God. I hate hearing women use profane language. It is so unclassy, bro. It is so unclassy. So unclassy.
election, and it's just like...
It's so disturbing.
I ain't never been so fucking devastated behind an election, and it's just like, when you a black woman surrounded by black men, and they...
Oh my God. Oh no, you can't unalive your baby anymore. Maybe keep your legs closed. Yes, maybe keep your legs closed.
saying all this shit like, oh, he's not that bad, and oh, he just hates everyone, bro. Like, it was my brother homeboy I was talking to the other day, a black man, and I found out that he's a Trump supporter. I'm like, he does not like you, and he was like, oh no, he just don't like everybody. What? So that's a good candidate for you? Someone who just fucking hates everybody? Like, what? And I'm fucking crying in my room this morning. My brother gonna come up in here and say, what's wrong with you?
Come on, I need to pause. I don't want YouTube to do anything to me. Pause it every day. She's using too many profane language. Too many profane words back to back.
Like, he can't think of one possible reason why I would be upset right now, bro. These niggas are so fucking...
And she's saying the N-word. Yeah, she's a peasant. Peasant.
They live on another planet, and it's because none of this shit affects men. That's why. Men don't give a fuck about nothing that don't directly affect them. If it does not directly affect men, they do not give a fuck. The motherfuckers hating women is the whole reason he got elected in the first place. The first time he got elected, he ran up against a woman. Second time, he ran up against a man, and it wasn't even a good fucking candidate, and he lost. He ran up against a woman again, and he won, because y'all just fucking hate. I really do not like crying on the internet, but I'm not even about to pretend like this some shit.
Close your legs. Look at this comment. You are brainwashed. Please step away from MSNBC. You will be fine. Close your legs. Exactly. Trump did not long ban abortion. Abortion is not a constitutional right. You do realize 80% of black men voted for Kamala Harris. It's actually 79%, brother, but yeah. It's more black women on Trump train because the black men are waking up. Crashing out, man. They're all crashing out.
You know what?
Do I call her a Bunnet Queen? More of the Bunnet Chronicles?
I thought I would wake up crying, but I ain't even crying. Crazy part. All I can say is, like, as a black woman, I know I did my part. I know my friends did our part. I know my partner did her part. I know my family did our part. We did our part. And for sure, it's finna get real wicked. When I went to bed damn near when I saw they got control of the Senate, I said, oh, it's finna get wicked. Oh, okay. Y'all finna see some. That's all I gotta say. We gonna see some. All I know is black folks and black women, we did our part. That's all I care about. We did our part in overwhelming numbers. The rest of y'all can kiss it. And another thing, when we told y'all there was a problem with incels on this internet and y'all joked about it, y'all get to see it out there in real life. These little boys hop on the internet and talk about goofiness. The most hatred and vitriol I've seen for human life, and everybody don't look like them, including their sex as well, because they don't like their women either. And they showed that today. And women's desire for validation is what won this election. Because these kids wasn't allowed to vote 4 years ago.
Dude, I don't want to hear that. She's just rambling.
And shout out to black women. shout out to Black women. I know that the election did not go in a way that we would have liked or what we desired. However, there has been like this uptick of just community, just us recognizing and affirming who we are. There's
Well, I'm
always
glad you uplift each other. Congratulations.
BP 2025 crashed heartbeat. I repeat, there is no longer a pulse. Moment of silence for that platform. Bow your head. Amen. Moving on. We have a Google form. We're now transitioning over to a wait list while we're in the process of developing out a Discord server.
So I heard about this, your BP 2025 update. Somebody showed me this, and they were clowning her, saying that they were never going to get together. The people who are forming this group and getting together, whether it be by the thousands of millions, are people who voted for Kamala. And if they voted for her, I'm not worried about anything at all. Trust me. Let's look at a couple more that I'm getting off here. I'm going to end it because we're going to have show after show after show after show on different topics, especially about the election. So, Black women, after showing up for others, only to be like, nah, yeah, dude, what is all of this? Let's see what this guy has to say.
Hey, ever since Joe Biden stepped down and Kamala Harris stepped up as the Democratic nominee, all I've been seeing on my timeline is Black women saying that they were voting for her simply because she's the same gender and the same color as them. Like, is that all it takes? She just got to be the same color and the same gender, and she got your vote? You don't care about any policy. You don't care about how she treat people. Just simply based off of color and gender, she got your vote. Well, if that's the case, would you vote for Candace Owens? You know, they play the same game every 4 years. Those other 3 years, they'll...
Another bunny queen. Another bunny queen.
Guys, you know, I have been following this whole sketchy election right from day.
Black folks, if you're as anxious about today as I am and you're not sure what you want to do in terms of staying in this country, head over to my TikTok and
Yeah, I know about that lady. She wants you to leave and all this and that. Bye. Let's look at one more.
No, because who did you vote for? Who did you vote for? Yesterday, I went out for the first time since the election. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm very apprehensive. I don't want to be nice to the others. Who did you vote for? Who did you vote for? It was such a strange feeling. Like, I hate that for us. Like, it gave very reminiscent of, like, is you in the KKK? Because I need to know. Like, I need to see your blatant...
No. And that is it for this episode. I thank you guys for coming by. We really appreciate the support. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Turn that notification bell on if you can. It is completely free. Share it with others so we can spread the news even more, grow the community, and I'm out of here. I will be back.